Things are not looking too good for the people at Embracer Group, as the collapse of a $2 billion deal has spelled minor disaster for their company. I'm not saying it's the worst that I've seen worse, but this is something ridiculous. Embracer Group shares plummeted over 40% on Wednesday after the Swedish company said a major deal had fallen through unexpectedly. Now, what kind of fucking deal do you have to have where you lose 40% of your company's worth? That's ridiculous to me. As part of its quarterly earnings report, the company said it had been notified on Tuesday night that a $2 billion partnership wouldn't be wouldn't be going ahead as planned. It has been a challenging year. It has been a challenging year, adversely impacted by game delays, weaker consumer demand, and lackluster reception for certain noticeable releases. Now let's unpack that for a second. 2023 is not a challenging year for gaming companies. It is a challenging year for gamers. I mean, you look at all of these game releases that have come out, it hasn't been particularly demanding. I think we can all remember years in the years previous where it seemed like every week there was a new AAA game coming out. They had to fight each other for our money, especially around November time when you had all of these multiplayer games coming out trying to fight Call of Duty for the championship. That's how Titanfall 2 died. But it's saying right here, it's been a challenging year for who? For you, that's so. It hasn't been a challenging year for these other guys. I mean, you look at their competition, no one's really struggling but them. Sony's making good money. Xbox is making good money. That is, when they actually deliver on their product. Weaker consumer demand is ridiculous. I mean, what are you comparing consumer demand to? Gaming is more popular right now than it has ever been. I mean, especially when you look at the success of Genshin Impact, and I know that's gonna sound ridiculous, but hold on for a minute. For gaming right now, what it is, you have to have either a several $100 gaming console or a several $1,000 PC. And most normal fucking people aren't gonna have that. So with things like Genshin Impact, giving them the giving them the opium to the heroin that is PC and console gaming by being on their phones has, if anything, increased the market right now for notable gaming giants. So when they say lackluster reception for certain notable releases, we go ahead and open up that link. Volition will become part of Gearbox after disappointing reception to Saints Row. Everyone I know, everyone, all the YouTubers, everyone I talk to, my brother, my cousins, everyone I talk to about this game, knew it was gonna be shit, didn't buy the game. Nobody cares that it's on sale. Nobody cares that it's the first new Saints Row in years. The the last good Saints Row game is Saints Row 2. I own Saints Row 2. I can't play it. It's fucking broken as shit. But I own the fucking game. I own the I own the game knowing it was gonna be broken as shit. I will not pay for this one. Negotiations have been taking far longer than originally anticipated, considering we had a verbal commitment already in October of 2022. Saints Row came out in August of 2022. So it's safe to say that a large quantity of the problems that they're having right now may just stem from this release. The specific deal included more than $2 billion in contracted development revenue over a period of 6 years. The deal would have enabled a catch-up payment at closing for already capitalized costs for a range of large budget games. So that means that during the 6 years, they plan to develop multiple fucking games, all all bound more or less to the success of one Saints Row title in October of 2022. They haven't even been releasing that many games as of recently that would give them any pull to really make this. Um, Really, all of that's just falling upon the various games that they do own, such as again Deus Ex. Of the various games that they do own, such as Deus Ex, Thief, all it's all more or less they're all more or less Embracer Group is more or less banking on the properties that they own. What Embracer Group is doing is more or less banking on the properties that they own rather than the games that they've released so far. The transaction the transaction had many of the highest rated global advisories on board with several hundred people engaged on both sides. All documentation was finalized and ready to go as of yesterday. So if this is a fucking video game contract, what kind of global advisories are they talking to right here? We know who they're talking to. They're talking to BlackRock so that they can get the fucking ESG score and whatever the fuck it is that they want. And who do we know that has a vested interest in Embracer Group and is big enough that global advisories would actually give a fuck about them? That's in the video game space. Come on. And has been pushing more and more for ESG woke bullshit. Fucking Amazon. Why does this say further reading? This is so on the fucking nose that it hurts. It hurts me. I bumped into it with my fucking canopy, my fucking Iraqi bullshit right here. This decision was unexpected to the management and the board of directors of Embracer. How unexpected could it be? I'm just looking at the numbers right now. How unexpected could this shit be? Look at that. It fucking tanked. They're at they all of the growth seen from 2020 to 2023 just completely disappeared. They got to start all over. And even then, I don't even know how the fuck they manage this shit. They haven't had any notable releases. They just own things that I like. They're like EA, but German. They're Swiss, Sweden, right? It doesn't stop the fact that any European game is basically gonna owe them money. So we might be asking, where do they go from this? What's next? I'll tell you what the fuck is next. I want you to remember what they said what this deal was for. $2 billion in contract development revenue over a period of 6 years. The deal would enable a catch-up payment at closing for already capitalized costs for a range of large budget games. So you would think that now that this deal has fallen through, they would pull back on those to some extent. No. 5 Lord of the Rings games to be released by 2024. And while Embracer Group has always been a publisher first and not really a developing studio, they're the ones who supply the money to the developers that they own, and they own fucking all of them so far. There are 5 Lord of the Rings games in production under current publisher Embracer, all of which is set to release by early 2024. 5 fucking games. One setting, 5 years. How the fuck do you manage that? How do you not run out of ideas? There is little or no information about the planned games, nor which developers are working on them. The only current announcement, the only currently announced title set in Middle Earth is The Lord of the Rings Golem, which is produced by Daedalic Entertainment. How the fuck do you make a Lord of the Rings Golem game? What am I supposed to do? What does Gollum do? He sneaks around, follows the main cast, eats raw fish. I'm not even gonna start this I'm not even gonna start this fucking gameplay reveal trailer. Originally announced back in 2019, the title has been delayed several times, though more gameplay is expected soon. Gollum places the titular ring craving character as the protagonist in a story driven action adventure. I know the story of Gollum. Dude just sits in a cave eating fish. That's it, that's what he does. He kills his friend, takes the ring, eats fish, and then someone else takes his ring, and now he's upset. What kind of fucking character arc is he gonna go through? He only had one character arc, and that's the one where he dies, which occurs alongside the event of the Fellowship of the Ring. The Lord of the Rings Golem is currently expected to release in 2023. Embracer's third quarter financial report boasts a 128% net sales increase from the previous year. How much of that is as a consequence to the games that are just producing more as they've continued, and how much of that is as a consequence of them just buying up all of these developers and then counting all of the developers' sales as their own? Because if I own developers who are selling 40,000 copies a month, and then I buy four more developers or whatever, and then they're making 40 or 60,000 sales per month on the stuff that they've already created, I feel as if to try and say that that has any bearing on your company is is such a bald-faced fucking lie that is again reflected in the fucking tanking of their company on the fucking NASDAQ. You can't even find Embracer. You can't even find the stock price for Embracer on Google. If you just type in Embracer stock price onto Google, they won't show you it. Well, let me show you. But if I type in Sony stock price, no issue throwing it up. If I type in Microsoft stock price, no issue throwing it out there. And I know for a fact because I have searched this before, that Embracer Group was 100% on the Google stock listing, right next to Microsoft, right next to the fucking thing. It was right here on the side. I swear to fucking God. When I searched this up 2 months ago, it was right there when I was on the fucking Sony shit. The publisher, which covers PC/console, mobile, and tabletop gaming, states that it has 31 AAA titles currently in the pipeline, while 19 of them set to be launched before March 2026. Major releases already announced include Dead Island 2, Homeworld 3, Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2, and Payday 3. None of these fucking games I would consider to be AAA. These are all AA fucking games, alright? These are all games that could easily be made in some fucking St. Petersburg neighborhood, alright? Sure, I liked Dead Island too, But you're not telling me that people are fucking lining up to get the new Space Marine game. Like, sure, it's fun. Payday 2 was fun. Payday 3 will probably be okay. But will it, though? I mean, come on. These games are all middling. They're not up to polish. If you look at the other games coming out at the time of these games, not only is there no advertising for these, I've seen zero advertising for any of these games. These games are all niche, triple A, almost indie games, honestly. Like, sure, they have big publisher funding, they have big publisher fucking restrictions, but they don't have big development, you know? They're mired in their own mediocrity. Embracer has also announced a partnership with Amazon Games relating to the development and publishing of a new title in the Tomb Raider series. It has been a while since I played a Tomb Raider game. I'm scared. I think they're gonna hurt me like the last fucking guy. Fucking 2012 was rough to play, man. On your Xbox 360, your mom's home. That bitch starts moaning. Like, damn it, mom, I'm just trying to play Tomb Raider. But if Amazon is making a new Lord of the Rings MMO for PC and consoles, could that have any bearing on the fucking... Could that have any bearing on the fucking deal that just fucking imploded? I don't know. That could be it. Could be that they're waiting. Could be that they're waiting to say something. I mean, this article's a little bit older than this one. Could be that they're waiting. They don't want to make it seem like, you know, nothing too bad is happening, but that would be cause for concern if this deal went through and all they had to go on to push their fucking 5 Lord of the Rings games was the Lord of the Rings Gollum and not that fucking Amazon shit. It's over. It's over for them. As mentioned before, this is all coming after their acquisition last year. A full year forward for Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, and other Western studios. Honestly, it's in their hands. Who even cares at this point? Who cares about Deus Ex and Tomb Raider? All the games that we want to play, they're all still there. But yeah, I want to know what you have to say in the comments below. It's not looking too good. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, hey, hats off to you. You're getting 5 new fucking games out here.